Hi and welcome to lesson 2. Now in this lesson what we're going to do is we're going to create a bass line. So first of all what we're going to do is we're going to open up operator. So go to instruments and just drag an operator over, and if you press your keyboard you'll have like a sine wave. And then what we do is we go to our second oscillator here, which is the B one, the green one, and we turn the level up. Near that, it's not quite there though, is it? It sounds like just quite standard. But if you turn your course up to 2, like so, can you hear it taking shape now? But what we're going to do is we're going to drop the filter here, the envelope. Now can you hear it? Now obviously if you want it plucky, turn the level up. There you go. So we'll leave it somewhere about 12. Okay, and then obviously the decay, bring that down to 404. Okay, so now that we've programmed the bass line, what we need to do now is record a pattern in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a small pattern in, and then I'll highlight the screen and I'll show you what I've done so that you can copy that and put it into your own track. Okay, so I'm just going to go back 4 and press record, and then I'll highlight the screen so you can see the notes that have been played. Okay. There we go. And then we'll highlight all of this. Just change the colour so it's not getting mixed up. Double click and open the screen. And there you can see the pattern that we've done. So highlight all of that and edit quantize again, and it should all be in place. So we've got okay, so it's just gone from the G to the C to the B flat. So just program that in, and then we can highlight the screen here, as you can see, so that you get all the notes in, and we can move on to the next. So there's the bass. Okay, so that's the bass done. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to record an arpeggio in. Now, you should have the link to the Podolsky soft synth that is in the pack, and it's called the Podolsky, and it's the 64-bit version for Ableton 9 on Windows. You can also get it for the Mac, so the link is in the file pack. So once you've got the link and you've downloaded the DLL file to your VST file within Ableton, what we need to do now is go to presets and choose the preset called P-Flock, which is down here. And once we've got that, we'll go back to Ableton, and we've got this sound. It's just a really nice little blippy sort of arpeggio that helps build the track up as we start to bring it up to the main bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to record that in, and I'm going to show you the notes once I've done it and highlight the screen. It's going to be in a G minor chord, so as the bass is in G, so we're going to go for a G minor chord with this. So I'll record it in and then we'll go from there. Okay. And that was it. That's all we needed to do. So let's just change the colour on that. Double click, and there we go. And what I've done is I've done the G minor, and then I've added a C on the last little bit. So it's like so. So let's just straighten all the lines out and make it all the full length of the track at that particular part of the track. And we'll loop that and just double click. And then what we'll do is we'll open up, and you can see the notes. I've done an F, a G, a B flat, and a D. And then at the end I've just put in a C and remove the D. So it's that simple. It's just a second inversion of a G minor chord, of a G minor 7 actually. So it's got the F in there. And I've added the C. So if you can just do that and zoom in on the screen now, and we'll record that in. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it to audio so that we have less CPU. And what we'll do with that is we'll create an audio track, right click on Podolsky, what we've just done, and freeze the track. And then we'll press Control and your left mouse button and whatever it is on the Mac and drag it down. And then we mute the Podolsky VST, and then we play the one we've just done. And just turn it up a little bit. So there we go. And that's all we need to do for that. So then once we've done that, we can delete the Podolsky one on the VST. You could leave the VST in if you want to keep it as a VST file, but it's preferably best for this tutorial just to take it straight to audio, and then we can manipulate it with some effects. Because sometimes with that VST, that Podolsky VST, it can generally go out of sync. I've had a few problems with it, so I don't want you guys to have any problems with that. So the best case is to take it to audio. Okay, and then what we can do with that is we can just stick a little bit of EQ on it, just to maybe brighten up the top end. But also try and keep that little bottom end because it complements the bass quite well. Okay, and then just name that arpeggio. And that's that done. So we've got a nice little groove starting to build here, and the track's starting to take shape. What we're going to do next is we're going to add in a chord pad sound, which is a sample, which is in the sample pack, which I've already given you. And we're going to add that into a simpler, and then we're going to manipulate that and do some effects on that to get that sounding really good as a build-up. Okay, so that's what we'll do now. Okay, so now we've got the arpeggio in. What we need to do is add a little bit of reverb to it. Now, in your send channels A and B, you should automatically have a concert hall and a delay, and that's in A is the concert hall. So what we need to do is solo the arpeggio and play it without, and then put the send A up to about 2 o'clock. And if you can hear that, it just has that really nice feel to it. Okay, so that's that done. Right, so moving on to the next thing then. What we're going to do now is add a simpler. So instrument rack and simpler. Okay, and then go to your sample pack, and in the sample sounds folder you should have a chord sample pad. Grab that and put that into the sample. Right, here we go. You've got this sound here. But what we need to do is we need to manipulate it slightly. So we'll take off a fraction off the start, like so, just a little bit, like that, and a fraction off the end, just like so. Then what we need to do is put loop on, turn the fade up to 100%, put the filter on, as we're going to manipulate that later with an automation like this. Okay, but we'll leave it up for now. Then what we need to do is put the attack on to about 35, 36, 40, somewhere around there. And then the release, we need to put that to about 108, or sorry, 102, like so. Okay, then what we need to do is transpose it up 5, so +5, so that it's now in key with the bass line. But then what we do is after that, we put on the glide and turn that on to glide, and then we turn the spread on to about 60. So you can hear it bends every time you change your note, it bends. And then put the volume to about +10. Okay, so that's that done. So if you can check those settings there, then we should be good to go. And what we'll do is we'll record 2 notes, which will be the G and the B flat. Okay, so I'm going to press record, and then I will highlight the screen in a moment. Okay, here we go. And that's that. And double click, and you should have 4 notes. Grab them all and quantize, and make sure that they're all on the line so that none of them are rolling over, like so, and that they're all in time, and we'll press play. Okay, and then we'll do the same again. What we did with the arpeggio is we'll add a bit of reverb. So similar sort of effect, about 2 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock. And then we will add in an EQ8, so double click on EQ8, and with number 3, click that and select a low pass and pull that down so we take away the bottom end. Drop the volume slightly maybe. And that's that. So hopefully you've got all that, and we can now move on to the next lesson where we're going to be cutting up some vocals. So this chord sample pad is basically for the intro of the track. It's just for the build up until we get to the main drop. So let's just do a quick recap then. You should have the FM bass, the Podolsky arpeggio synth, and now the chord pad in the simpler. Okay, so thank you for watching this, and head over to the next lesson where we're going to do the next part of the track. Any problems, please email me and I will contact you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.